Audio Jungle. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of our Educational Psychology podcast. In this episode, we're joined by Shu Wanji, Xie Yutong, Ou Yanjun, and Xu Luying, and we'll be talking about Bandura and Vygotsky.
Hi everyone, I'm Ou Yanjun, an undergraduate majoring in BSc Education. It's so nice to be on the podcast today and have a chat with you guys.
Hi everyone, I'm Yutong Xie, a first-year student studying BSc Education at the University of Manchester. I'm glad to join today's episode to share my insights and experience.
Today we're diving into some of the most influential theories on how we learn and grow. Psychologists like Bandura and Vygotsky had unique perspectives on this. Let's explore their ideas in more detail. In our daily lives, behavior is often influenced by many factors, such as the environment and the people around us. Bandura's theory focuses on how individuals learn by observing and imitating others, and transform this learning into their own abilities or knowledge. This theory has important enlightenment significance for pedagogy and provides practical guidance for educational practice. Bandura's viewpoint highlights the importance of social factors in the learning process and further enriches our understanding of educational methods and learning strategies. To gain a deeper understanding of the core ideas of Bandura's theory, can you explain how individuals learn through observation and imitation by explaining social learning theory and social cognitive theory?
Sure. Bandura believes that individuals learn by observing the behavior of others and their consequences. This process includes 4 points: attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. First, individuals need to pay attention to the behavior characteristic of model. Then they should retain the observed information in the form of either images or words in memory. Next, they reproduce the module behavior based on their information stored in memory. Finally, individuals are motivated to carry out the behavior because they notice that the module behavior is rewarded or that their expected behavior can bring benefits. And also, he stresses the importance of the environment. The role model around us give us examples of how to act, and how they do and result of their actions have an impact on our learning. For example, when children see their parents being praised for helping others, they may learn to help others. At the same time, cultural values and behavioral norms in social environments, such as families, schools, and communities, also affect individual learning through the transmission of the role models.
Okay, can you also discuss how these two theories reveal important mechanisms of individual learning and emphasize the key role of environment and others in shaping knowledge and abilities?
Of course, individuals learn by observing the behavior of others and consequences. For instance, if a child sees their parents being polite and being well-liked by others, he may imitate the polite behavior. This is an important way for individuals to acquire new behavior patterns without direct personal practice and reinforcement. Also, others in the environment provide individuals with the wealth of behavior role models. Different role models demonstrated different behaviors and values, which increases the material and choices for individual learning. Like in our school, the learning methods and attitude of outstanding students can provide examples for other students. They often have unique ways of organizing study times and approaching different subjects that can be imitated, which bring a positive impact on the learning and growth of their classmates.
Yes, as you mentioned, model theory is also an important part of Bandura's theory. This theory emphasizes the role of observational learning, suggesting that individuals can learn and develop by imitating the behavior of others. Models can be not only like parents and teachers, but also peers or characters in the media. Through these imitations, children can form their own behavioral patterns and social skills, which further enriches our understanding of the individual development process. Now that we understand the core points of Bandura's theory as a theory with great significance to education, how can it be applied to our education system?
Well, like on campus, teachers and classmates are our role models. Take our school as an example. When the teacher leads us to read English text, students will imitate the English pronunciation of foreign teachers, actively communicate with them, and try to use the learned words in actual conversations. Students will also influence each other. For instance, in math class, the teacher will ask students with good grades to go to the stage and solve problems. Students sitting in the chairs can refer to the ideas of students on the stage and imitate their problem-solving ideas. When sorting out wrong questions, everyone will also learn from each other's, using efficient modules and methods to recover wrong questions and make themselves improve.
The example you mentioned is very relevant and indeed reflects the practical application of Bandura's model theory in the campus environment. This learning method not only improves learning efficiency, but also cultivates the spirit of cooperation among students, which fully reflects the importance of observational learning. In such an environment, students not only passively accept knowledge, but also actively participate and promote each other to achieve self-growth. What do you think is the critical nature of Bandura's theory in education?
Bandura theories really emphasizes observational learning. It makes us realize that students can pick up knowledge and skills just by watching others, and they can quickly learn some ways of doing things and techniques, which really gives us more options of teaching and learning. And it also highlights the power of role models, like teachers and classmates can have a huge impact on students. Like if a teacher loves reading, it can really give students interest in reading and help them for good reading habits. However, it does have some drawbacks. It seems to focus too much on external things like role models and environment. It kind of overlooks students' own inner thinking and creativity. I mean, students' learning isn't just about copying what others do. They also need to actively explore and come up with new ideas. Also, it emphasizes the whole learning process. It just boils it down an observation and imitation. But in reality, learning is a lot more complex. Different students learn in different ways and different speeds, and their theory doesn't really take that into account enough. Plus, there's a risk with role models. It doesn't fully think about possible bad effects on role models. If a role model acts badly, they could lead students astray. So we really have to be careful when choosing and guiding the role models.
Yeah, I totally agree with your idea. In general, Bandura theory emphasizes observational learning and also highlights the importance of role models in the learning of knowledge and skills, which can enrich teaching methods and motivate students. However, it also has some shortcomings, such as overemphasizing external factors, ignoring students' internal thinking and creativity, and insufficient understanding of the complexity of the learning process. In addition, the negative impact of role models also needs to be taken seriously. Therefore, in practical application, we should combine other educational theories and comprehensively consider the diverse needs of students and environmental influences.
Okay, so after discussing Bandura's theory of social learning, which emphasizes the importance of observation and imitation learning, we can now turn to the Vygotsky theory and explore how social interaction and the cultural environment play a key role in the process of individual development. So, can you explain what is Vygotsky theory?
Okay,
Vygotsky only lived 37 years but made a huge impact on how we understand learning and development. One of the key concepts is the zone of possible development, or we can call this the DPD. This refers to the gap between what a child can do independently and what they can achieve with the help of someone more knowledgeable, such as a teacher or the peer. Another vital concept is scaffolding. Vygotsky believes that educators and parents should provide temporary support to help children develop skill and knowledge. As the child grows more capable, the support is gradually removed, much like the scaffolding on the building.
Yes, according to Vygotsky, cognitive development arises from interaction between people and then occurs in individuals. Also, Vygotsky emphasizes the importance of play in learning. He sees play as a powerful tool for cognitive development, which can help children to think abstract thinking and promoting the problem solving and self-regulation ability. So can you use some specific examples to show the significance of play?
Of course, as we know, children like taking role playing. So we can imagine that some children are playing together. One might pretend to be the mom, like cooking dinner, and another is a dad going to work. And the third one is a child learning how to say thank you and apologize. So this kind of play are not just to having fun. They are internalizing social norm and learn how to navigate role and responsibility. So it's like a mini training ground for real life interaction.
The example you mentioned is very vivid. In addition to this, role playing also helps children to prepare for the future interpersonal relationship in the real situation. It can also help students show a good leadership in the future team cooperation. What's more, the Personal Development Zone, which names ZPD, also highlighted by the Vygotsky, refers to the range of problem solving and skills that children will use in the playing with others. This shows the differences between what students can do without guidance and what they can achieve without encouragement. So from your perspective, how do you think teachers should effectively use the theory of ZPD to design classroom activities so that promote the development of students' potential abilities with guidance and support?
In my high school, we have a course called creative writing. At first, we didn't know how to write an impressive or the attractive article. So the teacher starts by giving us some sample essays that we can use as the guide to structure our own writing. Then, as we get better and more confidence, the teacher gradually pull back the supports. I think in this class, the teacher gave us some scaffolding and helped us bridge the gap between what we can do with help and what we can do with our own.
Yes, I think your experience is very interesting, and I had a similar experience as well. When we meet some difficulties, teachers are always as the good supporter. However, the support should not be persistent so that students can think and explore more independently and promote their autonomous learning and ability improvement. Otherwise, it may lead to the dependency in students. So how do you think teachers can adapt their support strategies to accommodate the different APD of their students to ensure that each student learns the best with the appropriate challenges?
I think it requires the teacher to be responsible enough and really get to know their student, like what they are good at and what they are struggling. Also, the school can divide its students into different classes based on their academic performance to enhance their study quality. Like for more advanced students, the teacher may offer light help and focus on providing more deeper and difficult questions to enhance critical thinking. And for the students who are struggling, teacher may need to break the task down into more smaller tasks and provide more direct guidelines.
Yes, I quite agree with the strategies you put forward, and I think these strategies are both flexible and targeted. So what do you think about the disadvantages of Vygotsky theory?
I think his work is pretty vague, and the DPD is a good concept, but it doesn't give teacher a clear step-by-step instruction on how to identify or work with the children DDP. Another issue is that his idea is very broad and theoretical. Vygotsky didn't conduct a lot of experiments, which makes some of his ideas harder to test or prove scientifically. Also, he might underestimate the role of individual difference. Some critics argue that the individual work and personal traits, like the student motivation or personality, which also play a big role in learning.
I'm very interested in your critical thinking, and I quite agree with the ambiguity of this theory. From our previous talk, we can see that although there is a theoretical assistance, the relevant particle places still need our future thinking. Also, this theory must keep evaluate and adjust these policies based on the actual classroom experience and students' outcome to ensure whether they truly address the diverse needs of learners. So in summary, when we talk about the Vygotsky theory, we find that social interaction and cultural environment play an important role in the cognitive development. So with this concept of ZPD, educators can better support students' learning. Although the Vygotsky emphasizes the value of cooperation and interaction to make our educational experience richer, there are also some limitations, such as being vague in particle application, which may ignore the individual differences of students. Thus, it is the best for educators to continuously evaluate and adjust their teaching method in order to more effectively meet the needs of the different students in today's classroom. So after discussing the theory of Bandura and Vygotsky, can you summarize some similarities or find some links or cooperation between them as the conclusion?
Yeah, I think they both recognize the importance of social interaction, but they focus on learning mechanism in difference. Like Vygotsky believes learning happens through social interaction, and his work focuses on cognitive development and how it's applied to education. However, Bandura makes an effort in research observational learning and behavior shaping, and he focuses on how the environment directly influences the action.
Thank you for your conclusion and thanks for listening to our podcast. We hope today's discussion has inspired you to think more deeply about Bandura and the Vygotsky theory. In the future educational practice, we can apply this theory to the practice and then work together to support the growth of development of each student. See you next time.
Audio Jungle.